Welcome back to Nintagious. It's been a while since we've gathered here for Direct. I'm pretty tired. I'm also running a little bit behind. I jumped into a Switch Sports bowling match while I was waiting for 10 o'clock to roll around, and I thought I'd have enough time for one more. I did not have enough time for one more, so I kind of had to rush to get out of there. My heart's actually still bumping a little bit just because I was like kind of worried I wasn't gonna make it. I think it's starting in like 2 minutes. So I don't have a lot to talk about before we start. I don't tend to have a lot of expectations about these things anymore. I like to just be surprised. A pretty good rule of thumb is if people are talking about it on social media, then it's something I don't want to see. And it's not because I don't want them to see what they want to see. It's just they often have like really boring ideas of what they should show. I saw a lot of like, oh, Bayonetta 3. It's coming out in a month and a half. Don't show us too much. Oh, Pokemon Scarlet and Violet. They just gave us a new trailer last week. Breath of the Wild 2, of course. It's too bad that that's not coming out this winter. I love how people will look at... Now, granted, they might still show us some Breath of the Wild 2. I would not be surprised by it. But I love how people see mostly focused on games launching this winter, and they go, what isn't coming out this winter? I want to see that. Metroid Prime 4. It's like, that's not coming out this winter. Like, they might still show it, but... Then there's other, like, lunacy, like Mario Kart 9, which is, like, it's obviously not going to happen. Switch Pro, etc. Two things to note really quick before this starts, and it should be starting any minute now. There were a lot of leaks about this, I think. I didn't read any of them. The only one I saw, because it was what every website used as, like, the headline for the leak, was, which I guess I shouldn't even say it, but it's honestly not it's not honestly not an interesting thing anyway, so I don't think anyone's going to be like, oh man, I wish I wouldn't have had that spoiled, if it does turn out to be true. And that was Switch re-releases for Wind Waker and Twilight Princess, which is like, I don't know, I would rather not that Nintendo re-releases old games for $50 again, but maybe that's just me, even though I do really like Twilight Princess. Wind Waker can just die, though, as far as I'm concerned. So there's that. I think there were a lot of leaks, but I have not read into them. That was the only thing I saw. And as with every Direct, I feel like there's a solid chance of them showing us more about the Mario movie. If they do that, I'm going to pause the recording, because that sounds like a real quick way to get a copyright problem. So I will pause that. I guess I have to apologize in advance for that, but I'm pretty sure that's going to be like a copyright strike if I let it play out, so...
We live on the continent of Elios.
Which hopefully isn't, what they're starting with. That would be pretty bad. This looks like... This is absolutely Fire Emblem.
1,000 years ago, our lands endured a vicious war with the Fell Dragon.
I could recognize a lot of the characters around the,
Heroes known
yeah, there you go.
Emblems. With them, the warriors of our nations fought as one. In the end, we were victorious in defeating and imprisoning the Fell Dragon.
This is the events of Awakening, isn't it?
Our world has been safe. But now, I sense a resurrection. The binding weakens.
That all sounded very sequel-y. That hair is terrible. Okay, it's not terrible. It's growing on me a little bit. Let me turn off subtitles. I don't know why those are even on, to be honest. Engage. So...
You're really awake, yeah?
1,000 years? That's how long I've been asleep.
What are those horrible things?
That's a Fire Emblem game, alright.
You are a divine dragon, a member of a royal family of dragons revered as deities.
The war. The Fell Dragon.
I don't know, I don't believe that he's a member of a dragon family. He's wearing shoes.
I've had my eye on you.
The ring.
so you can just, like, Mega Man X3 and, like, call in other characters?
It is rather quiet, I know.
Interesting.
But it will liven up as we gain allies.
The time has come.
This is kind of, like... I should be more excited, because, like, this is a day one purchase. Like, I'm big into Fire Emblem, so I'm there. But I'm also not surprised, you know what I mean? So I'm not, like, blown away, because I'm like, yeah, of course they were making another Fire Emblem game. Like, did you think they weren't gonna make another Fire Emblem game? This was just a matter of time, kind of a thing. They had to wait for 3 Hopes to be out, probably, because they didn't want people to just brush that game under the rug. I don't know how I feel about the assist trophies. Wow, that's in January? What the hell? That's, like, done.
Hello, everyone.
Damn.
I'm Yoshiaki Koizumi. and
It is
I'll be
winter.
your guide for today's Nintendo Direct.
It is winter, and it's like 5 months away. That's crazy. That's the most surprising thing about
The
that.
latest installment of the Fire Emblem series, Fire Emblem Engage. In addition
I don't
to
like
the
the
standard
name.
version, we'll also be releasing the Fire Emblem Engage
Yeah, of course you will be.
Divine Edition, containing collectible items.
They're already sold out. Don't even bother. Don't even bother
Please
looking.
look forward to more information about this game.
Especially by the time I put this recording online, which probably won't be until tonight, so they're absolutely sold out already. I bet scalpers are selling them, though.
Takes two to tango.
Are scalpers still a problem? I would assume they are.
Cody and May's relationship is on the rocks.
I should
But
probably
it
play
gets
this
even
at some
tougher when they're turned into dolls. To get their bodies back, they'll brave an onslaught of challenges where working together is the only way forward. Team up and cooperate with a friend in this critically acclaimed two-player platforming.
Yeah, I've heard it's really good.
Even the bumpiest road can be traveled with someone by your side. Venture through fantastical worlds filled with challenging experiences around every corner. In addition to single system play, the game can also be played on 2 systems via local wireless or online with a pal via the
Okay,
free
online's
Friends
good. I mean, I think the
Help Cody
the
and
game
May
already
return
had
to
online
normal.
play, so I guess I shouldn't be surprised by that, but sometimes, like, you'd think online play would just be a given in 2022, but sometimes there's still stuff that's, like, local only.
Nintendo eShop.
You're like, what the hell?
The forbidden story begins.
Oh, they're releasing another one already? This is Fatal Frame, right? Wait, that came out, right?
After mysteriously vanishing as a child, Ruka Minazuki visits an abandoned hospital in search of her lost memory.
I would assume this is another remastering. I don't know anything about these games.
Use
I guess
camera
the
obscura to
last
repel evil
remastering did
spirits
really
and
well,
uncover
because they jumped on
memories
this pretty
that were
fast.
sealed away. A dark curse looms near. What ancient rituals will be revealed? Fatal Frame, Mask of the Lunar Eclipse launches for the first time in the West on Nintendo Switch
Oh, yeah,
next
so
year.
it's a remastering, sort of.
There's a new hero who looks mechanical.
Oh yeah, shit, I didn't even finish this game yet.
Introducing Wave 2
I need
of the
to get on that.
Xenoblade Chronicles 3 expansion pass for the Xenoblade
I hope they're not about
Chronicles
to,
3
like,
game.
show us major spoilers.
This is Ino, a new hero. She appears to be
That's not Ino. I know Ino, that's not
mechanical.
Ino.
Complete her quest to have her join your party. Expanding your options for classes and battle strategies. Challenge battles will also be added. Test your mettle in consecutive battles against tough enemies. Defeat all enemy waves to earn rewards. Challenge even stronger enemies to earn valuable
Oh,
accessories
good, swimwear.
and special outfits.
Good, that's what that game was missing. It's absolutely a 10 out of 10 now.
More hero and gameplay additions will arrive in Wave 3.
It's kind of sad because one of the things I really praised Xenoblade 3 for is that it's not very fan servicey. And then they were like, here's, like, bikinis. Thanks.
Drawn into these Nintendo Switch
Thanks.
games. Nautical nonsense begins when SpongeBob and Patrick make a wish that unravels the very fabric of the universe. In this 3D platforming adventure,
That sounds
you'll travel through
severely
portals to
more
7
intense than it needs to
outlandish
be.
wish worlds, like prehistoric kelp forest and Wild West jellyfish fields. Explore using all sorts of wacky moves, don over 30 fantastic cosmic costumes, and meet your favorite Bikini Bottom residents from the TV series, voiced by their original actors. That's it. Soak up SpongeBob SquarePants, the Cosmic Shake.
I mentioned this on stream like
Next year.
a week ago or so. I don't think
You're all ready.
they really didn't have any good examples of it there, but I really like the animation in that game. They're animated like cartoon characters, which is something that is often not a thing with games based on... What am I looking at? Usually game characters are animated in a completely different way than, like, you know, a CGI, like, animated character.
This ain't your uncle's dodgeball.
But that's not the case with that game, which is very impressive.
Hard-hitting party game. Embrace the absurdity of frantic minigames, each one featuring ridiculous rules in madcap arenas. Customize your character from head to toe with hundreds of accessories. Plus, challenge up to 6 friends and frenemies in local and online play. They won't even know what hit them.
Do games like this still sell? I mean, they must, right?
A small fox washes ashore on a ruined island. Brave the unknown.
Oh yeah, that's not on Switch yet. I was like, why are you showing us this?
Here is the manual. Traverse the island's
I forgot that it wasn't on Switch. That's awesome.
Pages. Dangerous traps and even more dangerous monsters lurk around.
Anyone who
every
didn't
corner.
play this, like, I highly recommend it. It was a great experience. And if you were potentially waiting for a Switch version, well, here you go.
Tunic launches on the Nintendo Switch system September 27th. Pre-orders begin today on
And
the
that's,
Nintendo
like,
eShop.
in 2 weeks.
New intel has arrived for these Front Mission remakes.
I don't know what Front Mission is.
Full remakes of 2 Front Mission games are storming in. In Front Mission 1 Remake, you'll pilot giant machines called Bonzers in tactical turn-based
I sometimes feel bad because, like,
As you progress,
they try to
you'll
hype
find
up
skills that can help you gain the
remakes
upper hand.
sometimes, and if it's something I've never heard of, I can't help
You
but
can
laugh.
also test
But,
your
like, I know
weapons.
that, like, someone out there is, like, pogging out of their mind right now, because they're like, holy shit. They
Continue
remade
the battle in the
both
sequel,
2 front
previously
missions?
unreleased
I don't know what
outside
this
Japan.
means.
Take advantage of additional features like
So it's
more
cool,
terrain
but, like,
weapon
I
and
can't help but
armor
laugh at
attributes,
the
and
attempt to
over
hype it
80
up,
new
you know what I mean?
skills added from the first game. Front Mission 1 Remake launches on Nintendo Switch this November. Front Mission 2 Remake will launch on Nintendo Switch next year. And in the future, a remake of Front Mission 3 will also launch on
God, how many
Nintendo
are there?
Switch. It's a wonderful life for a new generation. After nearly 20 years, a beloved farming experience is
Ooh.
reborn.
Oh, it's another remake?
Back to Forgotten Valley. Here, you'll manage a farm passed down to you by
I was
your
like, yo, a
father.
new Harvest Moon?
Restore and
Except
expand
not
your
Harvest
farm
Moon,
to
except
promote your
actually
crops,
Harvest Moon?
Care for your friendly animals and help the land flourish.
I mean, I'm still into it, because I don't think I've played
Befriend
the original
townsfolk
one.
While you're out and about in the valley. You might even meet
No.
your future partner and start a
I
family.
actually played this one.
In this installment, those around you will grow older as time goes on. Their appearances will change over the years. Your child will also choose their career based on how
I
you
think
raise
this was the one that was on GameCube. I don't know what else it was on, but I think I did play this one.
An especially wonderful farm life in Forgotten Valley lies ahead.
I mean,
Story of
cool,
Seasons.
don't get me wrong.
Wonderful life
It'd be cool to
launches
see a
on
completely
Nintendo
new one,
Switch,
though. I think the
summer
only ones they do are
2023.
remakes now. I might be wrong on that. I don't keep super close eye on it. Dude, it just came out. Come on, we don't need to see more about this. To be fair, I haven't heard too much about this. Like, it hasn't been a, oh, I'm sick of hearing about it because people won't shut up. Honestly, like, they've done a good job. They've done a good job of just being, like, just enjoying their game and leaving everyone else in peace. Which sounds like such a bad thing, but... Now, see, I didn't know they were actually 3 ways in match. That's pretty cool. I kept thinking... How would you even get an accurate read of which one's winning if you're still only 2 teams in each match? So that is neat. I'll give it that. That's pretty telling that I did not even watch anybody play the demo, but...
So, Squids, what did you think? What would you bring to a deserted island? As for me, I've already decided.
Not enough for me to, like, pick the game up, but, you know.
Next, please take a look at this.
It's gonna be another remake, because that's all Square Enix makes. No, this is actually, like, what, Octopath 2? This one better actually have octopus telepathy in it.
In the Octopath Traveler series.
Or I Riot.
8 new travelers embark on a journey through the land of Celestia.
With that, we could realize a world without conflict.
Dude, did anyone even finish the first game?
I'm going to become a star.
It's so long.
And bring smiles to people's faces, just like Mama.
I'm hitting the road. I'll be back once I eliminate that devil called poverty from the world.
The man who took everything from me shall die by my hand.
Not again. Not this stench. The stench of blood.
Doubt is what I do.
Leave the hunting to me. You'll have
I don't know,
all the
like...
tasty meat you want.
Cool.
I need to rediscover who I am.
I didn't really care for the first one, though, of what I played, so I'm
set in a bustling area.
probably not going to jump on this one either.
Each traveler's path action differs between day and night.
But I know the people that, like, really played the hell out of it really liked it, so, like, you know, that's cool.
When their paths intertwine.
Excuse me.
And
Sometimes it just sneaks up on me, and I can't do anything about
I
it.
think I found the source.
8 travelers each have their own story to tell. Where will their journeys lead them? And you.
See, I don't like... Look how cool these enemies look.
Octopath Traveler 2.
They're these big-ass sprites with all these details.
February 24th, 2024.
And then the main characters are just these tiny-ass little sprites where you can barely
What you just saw was Octopath Traveler 2.
see, like,
Square
any
Enix.
of their details at all. It's kind of a bummer. One of the few things I'm
Please
not
look
a big
forward
fan
to the
of
journeys
with
of 8
the
new
original.
heroes. Let's see some more headlines.
I understand that, like, retro, but, like, I think in retro games, that was the thing
Magical home is
due to
waiting for
limitations, and now they're, like, they don't have to hold
you.
themselves to that
Welcome your new
limitation.
fairy tale life in Fae Farm. Cultivate your homestead and forge everlasting friendships in this farm simulation RPG. Discover magical spells to grow crops. Face off against mischievous foes.
I'm not gonna lie, this
and
looks
explore
cooler
the
than the
enchanted
Harvest
realms
Moon
of
game.
Azoria.
I should stop calling it
Along the
Harvest
way,
Moon. I
you'll
grew up in the
befriend a
90s. What do you
lively
want?
cast of
Story of
characters who
Seasons?
call
Is that
this
what it's
island
called?
their home. Tend and grow your fairy tale farmstead.
Mostly 'cause this is
Forge
just, like,
together with up to
new.
4 players in local
So I'm
or
like, ooh,
online multiplayer.
shiny.
By gathering resources and crafting items, you'll be able to customize your home and enjoy this mesmerizing
like,
adventure even
Bit of an
more.
Animal Crossing edge to
As
it
the
as well.
seasons change,
Like, this looks neat.
spellbinding surprises can be unlocked that'll help you restore Azoria to its natural splendor. Magic awaits in Fae Farm, launching exclusively on Nintendo Switch
Don't
spring
love the name,
2023.
but what can you do, I guess?
It's a musical blast from the past. Celebrate the 35th anniversary of the Final Fantasy series with the latest theater rhythm game.
Oh, it's a new... I was gonna say, I'm not buying that game again, but a new one? Maybe.
From the heavens. Suteki Dane, and more. There are 300
I won't be able to stream it, though. Because Square Enix copyrights all their shit. They're probably going to copyright this. So I could get it, I won't be able to play it on stream, which sucks ass.
In pair style, while up to 4 players can battle to the beat in online multi-battle.
That's
Theater
neat.
Rhythm Final Bar Line begins its symphony on the Nintendo Switch system February 16th, 2023. Pre-orders begin today on Nintendo eShop. After the game's launch, paid DLC
Of course
songs
there's
from the
gonna be paid
Saga
DLC.
series. Nier series. Octopath Traveler.
I'd maybe consider...
Live and more will be
There better be
released.
Bravely
That's
Default on
90
there.
additional songs. Plus, editions containing a season pass. And
Could you maybe,
27
like...
extra songs,
I'd consider buying some
including
DLC
Melodies
if you
of
weren't
Life,
taking all my
will be
monetization for playing your music on stream. How about we make a trade? Like, I'm unreasonably agitated about that. Just knowing that, like, so I played the first two, and I really liked them. So I'm down, but I'm also like, I won't be able to stream it. Because they're just gonna copyright claim the whole fucking thing, and it's probably, half of it's probably gonna get copyright striked.
Each one jam-packed with discoveries.
I wish I cared more about this. Like, it looks good, but
Unlock hidden paths.
from what I watched, I didn't even play the first one, to be fair, but from what I watched of it, I wasn't, like, blown away. And it also just doesn't look like a game I would personally like. So it's one of those things where I look at it and I'm like, this looks cool, I wish I cared.
Here to lend a helping hand. Recruit up to 30 different sparks, each with their own special powers and skills. They can help spark a decisive victory. Can Mario and the Rabbids
It's
put
definitely,
an end to the darkness?
Those that get it, I hope it kicks ass. Oh, it's coming out on my birthday, look at that. We're still not gonna get it, sorry.
Nintendo eShop. A gold edition can also be pre-ordered, containing the base game, weapon skins, and a season pass.
Like I said, it looks cool. Looks like there's a lot of content in there. It's just, from what I've watched, I was like, no, this doesn't look like the thing I would think. Is there really 3 fucking Harvest Moon games in this direct? What the hell? Oh my god. And this is probably the worst looking one so far.
Among other relaxing activities. You can also transform into a monster?
Is this just a port?
Abilities in battle and conversations with the locals will vary depending on your form.
Like, those background graphics are not good.
Plus, a brand new mode has been added.
Is this like an HD game? Like, are you kidding me?
In-game spouse. Rune Factory 3 Special launches on Nintendo Switch next
I mean, I think that is like it is a remastering, I'm pretty sure.
Plus, a new Rune Factory series will launch in the future.
I'm gonna count it. 4 Harvest Moon games in one direct.
More Nintendo
That's
64 games
That's
are on
insane.
the way. Pilot Wings
Ooh,
64.
boy, I've never played Pilot Wings 64.
Mario Party.
Meh. Kind of made this comment earlier. I'm kind of just over this style of party game. Gee, I wonder what else. Actually, I think those are the only 3 that were on Nintendo 64. That's neat. Pokemon cannot be transferred into these games. Yeah, you'd have to do something really cool, like make a 1080 snowboarding. You have to do something really cool, like making a Game Boy Switch online. I've never played that either. That's also neat.
Play a selection of Nintendo 64 games and enjoy
None of those really get me excited, if I'm being honest.
Online Plus expansion pack membership.
Excite Bike is cool, but
there's
that's
one more
kind of
game we should mention.
Banjo-Tooie? That's not Banjo-Tooie. Wow, really? Cool, everyone can replay it and remember how not good it is. Sorry. Although with online play, that's pretty fucking cool. I'll give it to them on that. That with online is pretty cool.
Nintendo Switch games. Live your best life on the newly discovered continent of Antuisia in this immersive RPG. Perform over 100 types of daily tasks to build character.
Is this another life simulator?
In doing so, you'll gain access to different job classes and abilities. A grand adventure into the unknown awaits. Various Day Life launches on Nintendo Switch later today.
What is that name? What is with Square Enix's naming ability anymore?
On a strange planet. Build a new rocket from scratch in this
I want to play this.
sim game.
This is something that's been on my to-do list for a really long time.
Then build machines
That
to
might be a good
refine
excuse
them
for me to
various
pick it up.
resources. Eventually, you'll construct
Although I don't know,
production
a game
lines
like
that
this
can
I feel like I might prefer to play on
planet's creatures
PC.
will attack, so keep them at bay. Factorio launches on Nintendo Switch
Or wait.
October 28th.
Is that the one I played on Game Pass and I actually didn't care for it?
In this 2D exploration adventure, she wanders through
I
a
don't
busy
remember.
gallery
Twain
by
played
the
this
artist's square table
during an October
until
horror month,
one
didn't he?
particular piece draws her in. Will she be able to safely return to her own world? Every decision affects her fate in IB.
I'm gonna
Launching
go
on
with
Nintendo Switch, spring
no.
2023.
I'm gonna go with no.
Mario Strikers Battle League, where 8 players locally.
Oh, yeah, that's a game that came out.
Get Gritty is getting a second free update.
I mean, I'd hope
Joining
so.
the roster are Pauline, a physical powerhouse with fast movements and strong tackles, and Diddy Kong, a midfield.
Cool, he's not in
speedster
Mario
with
Golf,
dazzling
but at least he's
techniques
here, I
and high
guess.
pass accuracy.
This is another one that, I wish I cared about.
Being added.
Which I think, in this particular instance, a lot of people have that opinion, I think, but...
The final summer begins.
Didn't they just announce this, a couple days ago? I forget what this series is called, but I recognize the character.
When strange islands suddenly appear, Ryza and friends set sail to investigate in order to
There's
protect
3
their
of those
homeland
games?
from
I thought
impending
there was only
danger.
1.
Sprawling landscapes set the stage for your adventure. Freely explore this vast world and forge your own path in this charming RPG. 11 heroes from all walks of life will join your party. During
That's a lot of
battle,
characters.
work with your
I hate to
allies
say,
activate various skills, which
I
can
hate to be that
swapped out
guy.
when needed. Teamwork is paramount after all.
It really looks like Genshin Impact.
New features are also in store.
And when I say that, I know that means there's millions of people saying this looks just like Breath of the Wild. Because, green grass. Breath of the Wild invented green grass, don't you ever forget it.
February 24th, 2023.
I mean, obviously the combat's completely different. That looks turn-based, but visually.
Wave 3 is on the way.
Oh, damn, already?
Here's a sneak peek at
Hit me,
2
baby.
courses racing into Wave 3.
Only 2? Oh my god.
Merry Mountain from Mario Kart Tour.
That's neat. I'm down for more snow tracks. It actually has, some anti-grav on it.
Peach Gardens from Mario
I don't-
Kart DS.
I guess that's okay. I don't really like that course that much, personally. But I can think of worse courses.
Wave 3 of the Mario Kart 8 Deluxe
That has to be
Booster
by
Course
Christmas,
Pass
right?
DLC for the Mario Kart 8 Deluxe game launches this holiday.
Yeah. Makes sense that they'd
Nintendo Switch
cram
Online
the-
Plus expansion pack members can enjoy this
the
DLC
Christmas
at no
one
additional cost.
in there for
The
in time
DLC
for the
can also
holiday.
be purchased on its own.
But what
How
else?
was that? Next, we have some news to share about Nintendo Switch Sports.
We still have 15 minutes to go, by the way.
In the next free update, golf will be added.
Pog. 21 holes from the Wii Sports series. You didn't even make new holes?
Of course, you can play these locally. Additionally, up to 8 players online can play at the same time on the same course in survival golf. Those with the most strokes will be out.
That's sick.
We previously announced that the update would release this
So
fall.
it's
However,
Battle
we have a
Royale
bit more
golf?
time for development, so the update
Kind of.
is now planned for this holiday. Please
Isn't
wait
that when they
just a
said it
little
was going to
longer.
be?
Next, we have a special guest.
How's it taking so
Mr.
long
Miyamoto.
if... This is gonna be the movie. How's it taking so long if they're just using...
I'm Shigeru Miyamoto.
If they're just using the courses
I
from...
have a few things I'd like to share
from
with you
Wii
today,
Sports.
including some news. First, as you may have heard, the Super Mario Bros. Animated movie we're developing with Chris Meledandri from Illumination will release next spring.
Alright, like I said, if they show a
And
full
Super Nintendo
trailer,
World,
I'm
which
gonna
is
have
entering
to
its
pause
second
this.
year at Universal Studios Japan, will also open in Hollywood,
You have been
California,
warned.
in the US. Recently, we've been
I wish
working
I
on
could
the
show
finishing
real-time
touches for both.
reactions of it, but
Today, I'd like to talk
I
a little
cannot.
bit about Pikmin. It's been over 20 years since the first game, and we're still working on the series. This is Pikmin Bloom. It's a smart device game we started with Niantic.
I
late
probably
last
would have
year,
played the
which
hell out of
players
that
all over the world are planting
if it weren't for
flowers.
the global
Here's a
pandemic
quick rundown
that
of the game for
kind of
those who
kept
have
me
yet to
inside.
Pikmin Bloom is a smart device game that uses your location.
It's Pokemon Go,
Walking
dude. Just
outside, you can find Pikmin, raise them, and plant flowers together.
holy hell.
All you need to do is take it with you on your daily walks or outings. You can look back at the end of the day and see where you walked. Send out Pikmin and collect the items they found that day. And feed them nectar to increase their petals.
Like, I even have it on
So,
my
how many
phone, I
steps
just
did we take
haven't
today?
really done anything with it.
While you're out and about, you can also use the AR feature to take photos with Pikmin.
Between the like, realistically, the
Pikmin are
pandemic's
all
not
around you.
really a thing here in
Let's take a
particular,
quick look
but
at my screen.
not anymore anyway.
I have nearly 700 Pikmin.
It's also just that this year the weather
They
has
love
just
nectar.
been trash.
If you
It's
get
either
Pikmin
been
to
too
level
cold,
here,
too hot, or
the
raining.
flowers will bloom.
So there hasn't really been an opportunity for me to
You'll
go
also see
out.
the number of steps you've taken that day.
Not
Regarding
on
the
a
map,
casual-
the clouds
ca-
will clear
the-
along the path you walk,
Casually?
so
That
you
was
can keep
casually
track
and
of the locations
leisurely
you've visited.
mashed together, by the way.
I normally move around.
Certainly
from
not on a
Tokyo,
casual
but
stroll,
I've also
anyway.
been going to Osaka, to Universal Studios Japan. I occasionally go to Tokyo as well. You'll
Developer
say to
privilege.
yourself, okay, this time I'll try walking here. It makes trips and walks a lot of fun. It's a very easygoing play experience you can enjoy just by taking it with you. I
You're
hope
gonna,
you'll
like,
try it out.
Drop a Pikmin 4
Okay,
or something,
now to
right?
the main event. Please take a look at this.
Like, please tell me that wasn't just for Pikmin Bloom. Oh, hell yeah, dude. If it's another remake, I'm gonna scream. It doesn't look like a remake, though. Isn't this the game that they've been like, oh yeah, we finished it 7 years ago and we just haven't released it yet? I honestly don't believe that at all. Whenever there's a rumor about something like that, like, I do not
That's right.
believe that shit.
Pikmin 4 will launch in
Why would they
2023.
spend all of that money and pay all of those developers just to be like, we're not gonna release it?
From the Pikmin's perspective near the ground.
That's kind of neat.
I also made a new t-shirt.
Honestly, I
Nintendo
want one.
Switch has made controlling the game simpler, meaning you can further concentrate on
Oh,
the
hell
core
yeah.
essence of Pikmin gameplay. We call it dandori in Japanese, or strategically
The,
planning, deploying, and commanding the Pikmin. I hope
Joy-Con
you're all
are
looking
gonna
forward
make
to
those
Pikmin 4.
controls really
Thank you,
banging, actually.
Mr. Koizumi.
You'd think.
Thank you very much, Mr. Miyamoto. Now, let's move on to some more headlines.
Hit me. Oh, come on. They're still making these
Game
fucking
to the
things?
next level.
I guess people are still buying them. I can't really criticize them too much. Copyright claim incoming, by the way. If, you know, Square Enix didn't already hit me. Which they probably did. Honestly, I have the volume up, like, decently loud, too, so it's definitely gonna be a copyright claim. Even more agitating than Square Enix is, like, I see the I hear mention of Ubisoft, and I'm like, damn, I shouldn't actually publish this, because they're gonna copyright strike me, because of how many times I've heard of them doing it to other streamers. A Ubisoft original? Shouldn't it be an Ubisoft original? Is this a no? Are you kidding me? This is insane. Oh my god. I've lost count. This is what, 5?
End to the calamity in this life simulation RPG. Along the way, allies with different motives will join your cause.
This is absurd. Did nobody proofread the games list for this?
You'll begin to uncover the truth of this ill-fated world.
It's just outright...
After this presentation, a demo containing the opening days of your farm's
It's just outright funny at this point.
Nintendo eShop. Save data can be transferred to the full game once purchased.
We want to go for 6? Do you want to announce the Animal Crossing New Horizons farming update?
Get ready for a devilishly good time.
God, I can't believe how many.
After 500 years, Umbra Witch Bayonetta was revived in the present day.
Anyone who complains about...
She clashed with angels to recover her lost
See, don't,
memories.
like, tell me all this shit. I haven't played the other two. Like, come on. The game's coming out in a month and a half. Like,
now, in this third installment, she'll
I don't need to know this much about it.
it.
Anyway, nobody can complain about too many... Or not enough farming games now, that's for damn sure. Also, not to, like, don't get it twisted with the negativity there, because, like, I think this looks cool. It's just, like, it's about to come out, and I'd rather just experience it when I play it myself, honestly. I do know enough about the first game to know who that guy is. And her.
Viola also joins in on the action. A hair-raising, demon summoning.
I don't know anything about, like, these games' plots, though. I think I played the first game for maybe, like, 2 or 3 hours. And then just wasn't really ever able to get back to it. But I couldn't tell you anything about, like, what was happening. See, that's good. I don't want to see too much.
A dark fantasy mystery abounds from the creators of Danganronpa.
Oh yeah, we heard about this, didn't we? That they were making something new.
To the city of perpetual rain.
It's neat, I guess.
Many cases remain unsolved in this corporate-controlled metropolis.
Get a load of this motherfucker.
Those who investigate are called master detectives, who come from all around the world.
Can we go back to the guy with the shredded ski mask on his face? What the fuck was that character design?
What? Meet Yuma, an amnesiac detective. And Shinigami, the spirit haunting him after their pact.
Shinigami?
Dive into these unsolved cases as a trainee at the detective agency.
Clock tower.
Thoroughly inspect each crime scene to gather clues and evidence.
Oh, Twain's gonna love this shit.
When you're ready, Shinigami will conjure a realm tying the crime scene to the truth. A mystery labyrinth. Overcome obstacles and manifestations of mysteries to edge closer to the actual events. However, mystery phantoms will attempt to hinder your progress during each case.
It's like Danganronpa and Ace Attorney and a little bit of Persona.
Uncover the secrets of Master Detective Archives Rain Code. Launching first on the Nintendo Switch system, spring 2023.
Interesting.
Enter the village.
That's coming to Switch, really? It's pretty interesting.
The latest
Oh, it's a fucking cloud version. Of course it is. I was gonna say, this thing struggled to run on PS4 and Xbox One, didn't it?
Ethan Winters must face
like, how the hell?
And its 4 fearsome lords to rescue his abducted daughter. Resident Evil Village Cloud launches on Nintendo Switch October 28th.
Let me, like, just...
You can download and try out.
Like, I'm talking to you specifically. You know who I'm talking to. Yeah, you. Aren't cloud versions just bad?
Containing a new third-person mode.
Haven't...
story content and more will launch December 2nd.
I didn't even know this was that was a thing.
3 other recent entries in the
and
Resident
7
Evil series will be available as cloud versions.
Aren't cloud versions just terrible, or are some of them actually good? I've heard nothing but bad things about cloud versions. Usually about Square Enix's, though, to be fair. So maybe those are fine?
It's an action-packed lineup of Nintendo Switch games.
But just, why do they keep making cloud versions? Aren't they awful?
Action brawler.
Wasn't this super cool? I remember hearing this was pretty neat.
And parrying opponents, you'll break their stance and gain the upper hand. Fall in combat, and you'll get older and weaker. In turn,
what?
you'll learn new techniques to complete your mission. Can you exact revenge before your time runs out?
That's an interesting mechanic. I had no idea that mechanic existed.
Pre-orders begin today on Nintendo eShop.
That's interesting.
Experience the events leading up to Final Fantasy
Oh right, this is a thing.
In this exhilarating action RPG. Zack Fair is a young and ambitious soldier operative aspiring to become a hero. Together with
I don't know, I played the
Cloud,
PSP one,
he
like the
investigates
original,
strange
to be honest.
disappearances
I
within
don't
his elite
particularly...
unit. This remaster features enhanced HD graphics, an updated combat system.
I'm not
and
really
new
like, oh hell
soundtrack
yeah, I gotta
arrangements.
replay that. Like, I'm just kind of like, eh.
Final Fantasy VII Reunion.
Cool, I
launches on
guess.
Nintendo Switch December 13th. The classic arcade shoot-'em-up Radiant Silvergun is coming to Nintendo Switch.
I have no idea what that is.
To take down waves of enemies. Defeat multiple
I just love
enemies
it
of the same color
when they
and
have,
same
and I said
mode.
this already with
Or
whatever
take
that
down
other one was
differently
called.
colored ones
I
for
love
a
it when they
secret
have
bonus.
that cadence in their voice where they're like, "Can you believe this video game is being released on Switch?" And I'm just like, I've never heard of this video game.
Later today.
Like, cool,
Recruit
but
a team of shipwrecked heroes and make your way out of a derelict space station in this roguelike game set in the endless universe. But it's not as easy as it sounds. You'll have to fend off continuous
I
waves
imagine
of monsters
Eno
as you
will be
make
all
your
about
way
this
through
one, because I think he
procedurally
really liked the
generated
first
levels.
one.
Complete various quests to unlock new heroes, weapons, station areas, and more. Up to 3 players in online co-op can attempt to escape their grim fate. Do you have what it takes? Endless Dungeon launches on Nintendo Switch.
Is that like out
next year.
on PC? I'm not sure.
The journey of world regeneration begins anew. Remaster of Tales of Symphonia is coming to Nintendo Switch. The world of Silverant is
Oh hey, it's that
controlled by
one
shadowy
Tales game
forces
that people
called
won't shut the hell up
Descience.
about.
To stop
And if you're
them,
thinking that's not the
known
one,
as the
it's this
Chosen
other
One
Tales
must
game that
ascend
people
the
won't shut up
Tower of
about, that's the
Salvation.
joke.
I really hope that's true.
Lloyd soon embarks on a journey with Colette.
I've never played any of these, so I have
and his
I have
childhood
no
friend
idea
in this beloved
how-
action RPG.
like
They'll
how
meet
good these
allies
games
along
are or
the
anything.
way, like the wandering aristocrat Zelos, and a lumberjack who lost her emotions after an experiment, Presea. Other allies will also join the party.
Like neat, I guess? I guess I'm just in a cynical mood today.
The fate of 2 interconnected worlds hangs in the balance. Tales of Symphonia
I know there was
Remastered
one...
begins its
I'm gonna
journey
level with you,
on
that
Switch
didn't look
early
very
next year.
remastered. That looked very old. Like, I'm just gonna be honest. What was I gonna say? Aw, crap. There was one Tales game I watched somebody played a little bit of, and I was like, this looks super cool, but I don't remember which one it was. It was one of the newer ones. Sizzle reel. This is probably gonna give me a copyright claim, too. If I had to guess. Dude, like, is it coming out in 2022? I want to play that, but they, like, are being so nondescript about when it's coming out. They just keep repeatedly saying coming soon. They just announced this, like, yesterday, I think. Is this a return to
Kirby's
Dreamland
Return to Dreamland
remaster?
Deluxe is coming to
Hello?
Nintendo Switch.
Dude, they changed DDD's fucking design
One day, a spaceship
to the
crash
awesome
lands on
one
planet
from
Star. To help
Forgotten
Macklemore
Land.
return to his
That's
home
awesome.
planet, Kirby
I
and his
want it.
friends set off on an adventure.
I want it right now.
In addition to Sword,
Dude, I fucking love that game. I will
familiar
probably
copy
buy that
abilities,
again.
The new mecha copy ability makes its debut.
What?
Blast foes from a distance, or punch them up close. It's packed with other powerful moves as well. The
What the
game
hell?
supports local play for up to 4 players on the same system.
Of course it's only local, though.
Plus, everyone can play as Kirby while using their favorite copy abilities.
But can you play as the other
There's
characters?
also a
That's
collection
what
of
I want to
sub-games
know.
play.
In the original game, you can
This
only
includes
play
the new
as Kirby
sub-game
as player
Magamore's Top
1.
Trackers.
What?
And returning ones like Samurai Kirby.
Well, that's neat.
All sub-games can be played with up to
Dude, that's
4
from, like,
players.
64 or something?
An adventure of deluxe proportions
Yes?
awaits. Kirby's Return to Dreamland Deluxe
Oh,
launches
it's so
on the
far.
Nintendo Switch system February
I'm such a
24,
hypocrite. I put him down for
2023.
re-releasing
Pre-orders
Zelda
begin
games
today.
for $50, and I'm like, that for $50? Hell yeah.
As part of Kirby's 30th anniversary,
I'm
a
in.
remake of Kirby's Return to Dreamland will be released. We hope you're looking forward to this game. Thank you for watching today.
Playing it without waggle controls would be pretty cool, too. Hopefully they give it, like, traditional button
This
controls.
next trailer will be our last announcement. Please.
Alright, so it's either Breath of the Wild or Metroid Prime. Right? It has to be. That's Breath of the Wild, 100%. Prove me wrong. In before the internet is like, this direct was terrible, up until they showed Breath of the Wild. Honestly, this direct was really good. It was very snappy, and there was a lot of fucking content in there. They showed a lot of shit, and they didn't stop and say, we're just gonna talk about this game for the next 20 minutes, so, like, get comfortable. It was very well paced. There's a lot of stuff. Too many life sim games, I think. Maybe. But, like, I think this was a very good direct. Even if I was being very cynical about a lot of it, but I think it was a solid direct. What the hell? What the hell? What the hell? Is that all they're gonna show us? Are you fucking serious? Can we get a title so we can stop calling it Breath of the Wild 2? Thank you. Tears of the Kingdom? Okay. May. Is that really all they're gonna show us after all that wait? Like, I don't even care, and I'm disappointed. Like, that was barely anything. See, and I guess the reason I'm disappointed is because, like, that's one of those games where I'm very cynical about it, because I don't like Breath of the Wild very much. I think it's highly overrated. But I think this had Tears of the Kingdom, is that what it was called? I'm gonna have to try and force myself to remember that. It could be good, depending on the direction they go in, but they're not fucking telling us anything, so we don't know if it's gonna be good. Except for the people who are like, it's fucking Breath of the Wild, it's gonna be the greatest game ever made, I'm already horny for it. What about those of us who are like, okay, Breath of the Wild could have been better? Which I think is actually a fair amount of people, whether the Breath of the Wild heads want to believe it or not. They're just milking the fact that people are like, oh, it's Breath of the Wild. Which is frustrating to me. I want to actually know details about the game so that I can know, is this something I should be looking forward to? Or is it like Splatoon 3 where I can just write it off because it's the same goddamn game? So I'm a little frustrated by that. But, that aside, I still think this was a good direct, honestly. There was a lot of stuff in there, and it was very snappy. They didn't... Again, they didn't... Some of my least favorite directs of all time were the ones where they stop and talk about one game for like 15 minutes straight. Where they just have a deep dive in the middle. And it's... Even if it's a game you care about, it's kind of like, yeah, but there's other stuff that you could be talking about, right? And they've kind of learned their lesson. They haven't done that in a while. so I shouldn't be too critical of it, because I can't remember, like, well, I remember when they did them, but I don't remember, like, when they were. I don't remember when the last one was. I think it was probably the E3 where they covered Fire Emblem Three Houses and spoiled the major plot twist in it, just without batting an eye. I think that was the last time they were like, here's a deep dive that no one asked for. And they don't do those anymore, which is really good. It was snappy. There was just, I know I keep using that word, but I think that's very important for these things. Like, for those of you that are following Sakurai's game design channel, he just put one up yesterday about how presentations need to be snappy. You might think this is hypocritical, because he's one of the ones that made a, 30-minute Smash Ultimate presentation in the middle of an E3 Direct. So, you're not wrong, but, I think they learned that with Directs, where they were like, we can't linger on things for too long. Even with Bayonetta, they were like, we're going to show you more, just not here, because we have other stuff to do. And the game's coming out very soon. So now it's in a position where it's, if you want to see more about it, you can go see more about it. If you don't want to see more about it, you can just skip that. Which is nice. I like that approach, honestly. I almost wish they'd do that more often, where they'd be like, hey, here's a game we're going to talk about. If you want to know more, we're going to just show you like 30 seconds of gameplay, but then we're going to move on and do something else. If you want to know more, we're going to put some videos up on YouTube. That's something that's good about E3s, because they do the Treehouse presentations afterwards. And then if you want to see more about a game, you can get more information. If you don't, if you're like, nah, I'm already sold, I'm going to buy it, I want to experience it when I play it, then you can easily avoid that extra information, which is, I think that's a good approach for things. Anyway, as far as like the content goes, like it's honestly, as I mentioned, I'm pretty tired. This aired at 10 o'clock Eastern, 10 o'clock in the morning Eastern, and this is usually about around the time when I get in bed. So it's now almost 11 o'clock. I'm still gonna have to probably stay up for at least a half an hour to an hour to edit this and get this premiering tonight. But I'm pretty tired, and therefore I didn't really absorb a lot of the information properly. I'm probably gonna have to look it over again tonight and be like, oh yeah, there was all this stuff. What stood out to me immediately: Return to Dreamland re-release and a new Fire Emblem, I guess, were the two that really popped out at me. And the 5 life sim games, which was just insane. I feel like there was a lot of niche stuff in this, which is fine. That's not a criticism. It's just, I remember if I would have seen this type of a Nintendo Direct like 10 years ago, I probably would have said it was a bad Direct. Whereas now, I feel like I've broadened to a point where I'm like, well, that's not for me. But someone's excited about that, so that's cool. And I think there was a lot of stuff like that in this, where I was like, that's not something I want, but like someone's gonna find that pretty cool, so that's neat. And there was even a couple where I pointed out, hey, I know someone who's probably gonna like this. I feel like there had to have been some other stuff where I was like, oh yeah, this was really exciting, but I honestly, I'm having a hard time remembering what any of them are, because I'm very tired. I guess one thing I'm probably going to look up right away, maybe I'll even do it right now before we get out of here. I want to see how much Kirby is. I'm guessing 50, but I also feel like there's a chance that they're going to be like, lel 60. It doesn't look like they actually have it up on their website yet. Even though I think they said pre-orders were open. I think they don't actually have it up just yet. Hopefully the original game wasn't even $60. Like, Wii games were, I think Wii games were sometimes 50. So it might have been 50. I feel like it might have also been 40. I'm looking forward to going on social media and seeing how many people are upset because they didn't show Metroid Prime, etc., etc., etc. Anyway, I'm gonna get out of here. I need to get this edited. So today's Tuesday. This is probably going to premiere tonight. I'm not streaming tonight, so I'm probably gonna put it in place of the stream. I will probably stream tomorrow, though, which is going to be Wednesday the 14th of September. So any of you watching the premiere now that usually come to streams, I will see you tomorrow. I will be more than welcome to, or more than open to talking about the things we saw here, I think. Unless your only takeaway was they showed us a minute of Breath of the Wild and 45 seconds was just staring at a mural. In which case, you're right. It was a shit-ass trailer, but also there was like 137 other games in this direct, so get over it. I'm sorry. Pikmin 4 was pretty epic too. Even though they didn't show it, and they kind of just said we're making it, or it's coming out. Which again, I don't believe the they finished this game 7 years ago and they've just been waiting to release it. I don't believe that. You hear that every now and then, where they're like, such and such a company has a game done, and they're just not releasing it yet. And it's like, why would they do that? Why would they invest the money in doing that, and then not release it? I don't think that... I don't understand business in the industry, I guess. Maybe there's a lot of sensible reasons to do it. I don't think... With a brand new game, I find it very hard to believe. With a re-release, I could see it. We talked about this the other night with the Metroid Prime trilogy in particular. If they just have it done and they're waiting for the right time to do it, they're probably waiting for the Wii U eShop to close, because then they can re-release it for like $60, whereas now if they try to do it, people are just going to be like, well, it's $20 on the Wii U, so why the fuck would I buy a $60 version? You're just holding it ransom, basically, again, for the people that don't have a Wii U, which I feel like is probably what they're doing, if that's truly a thing. But as far as Pikmin 4 goes, I don't think that's a game that's been done for like 7 years. I don't believe that. It just seems like a nonsensical move. Anyway, like I was saying, if you guys want to talk about this in stream, I'm more than open to it, of course. I'm sure there's a lot of stuff I didn't comment on very much. Yeah, anyway, that aside, thank you for watching. Like I said, if you often come to streams, if you don't often come to streams, you should often come to streams. It'd be good to have you. If you do often come to streams, I will see you tomorrow. So if you had a good time, if you enjoyed the presentation, don't forget to hit the like button. It does help out quite a bit. And I'd say that I'll see you guys for the next direct, but like these things are pretty few and far between now. I tend to not cover the ones that are focused on like one game. Because even if it's something, they're too exclusive, I guess. Even if it's something that I'm really interested in, honestly, if it's something I'm really interested in, I'm probably not going to want to watch the direct, because I'm, like, already sold on buying it. So I tend to not cover those. I only cover these larger ones, which are, like, a twice-a-year thing now. I kind of miss the days where it was, like, every 2.5 months, but, like, I guess what can you do? So, I mean, I still will see you the next time we do a direct, but otherwise I'll see you in streams or in other video content, because I am still pushing some of that out. All of that aside, I'm going to get out of here. So thank you again for watching, and I will see you guys next time.